Nestled at the foot of towering mountains and framed by rolling fields of endless green, the village of Eldergrove was a place time itself seemed to cradle gently. Stories here weren't just told, they were lived, traded like coins, cherished as heirlooms. At the heart of this quaint village stood the great oak, its roots burrowing deep into the earth, as though holding secrets of the past, and its branches stretching upward, as if yearning for a future untold. Under its sprawling canopy, lives were shaped, dreams were born, and a quiet boy named Elias often sat in solitude, searching for something no one but the great oak seemed to understand. Elias was not like the rest of the villagers. Where others found joy in harvesting the golden wheat of Eldergrove's fields or crafting vibrant tapestries, Elias's eyes sought something more, something he couldn't name but felt with every fiber of his being. His hands tilled the soil dutifully, but his mind wandered to places beyond the peaks that framed their valley. He dreamed of stars that danced in forgotten skies and rivers that whispered promises of lands left unseen. These dreams, however, were met with loving, if perplexed, smiles from his family. They didn't understand why their kind-hearted son needed more than the abundant beauty of Eldergrove.
You have everything here, Elias. Why seek what you cannot see?
Elias would only smile faintly. How could he explain the pull, the quiet ache in his soul? So, he whispered his dreams to the great oak instead. Though the ancient tree never replied, its rustling leaves soothed his restless heart, granting him a measure of peace. Life continued as it always had in Eldergrove, like the steady rhythm of a well-worn song, until the evening the traveler appeared. No one saw from where he had come. One moment, the village square was bathed in the amber light of dusk, and the next, he was there, a figure draped in a cloak that shimmered like the cosmos itself. His presence was magnetic, his voice honeyed with wisdom, yet grounded in something infinitely human. Word spread quickly, and soon the villagers gathered by the fireside, eyes wide with anticipation as they beheld this visitor from the beyond. The traveler spoke of wonders that defied imagination. Forests whose leaves were carved from precious jewels, mountains that sang when the wind kissed their peaks, and skies so vast they seemed to cradle infinity itself. His stories painted pictures vivid enough to make the stars above feel close enough to touch. Faces lit up with awe, but none more than Elias's. For as the traveler described these mystical lands, Elias's soul ignited like kindling catching fire. When the traveler paused, Elias found himself standing, his voice steady but filled with a fervor that surprised even him. "I will go," he declared, his gaze locked on the traveler. "I will cross those mountains and see these lands for myself. I will bring back stories no villager has ever told." The murmurs of the crowd were a symphony of disbelief and admiration. Who was this boy, quiet Elias, to declare such an audacious ambition? But Elias didn't waver. The fire in his heart now burned too brightly to be extinguished. Even his own doubts, so familiar and persistent, seemed momentarily silenced by the vision of what lay ahead. At dawn, Eldergrove stirred to see Elias off. Despite their skepticism, the villagers gathered, each offering tokens of hope for his journey. A scarf woven with care, a small compass, a warm loaf of bread wrapped tenderly in cloth. The sun kissed the earth as Elias stepped upon the path leading out of the valley, leaving the familiar embrace of home behind. His journey was fraught with trials. The first forest he entered seemed alive, its shadows reaching for him like searching hands. As the wind howled through the trees, whispering doubts louder than any storm, Elias gripped the compass in his pocket and pressed onward, repeating the steady mantra of his heart: "Dreams are worth the struggle." When he reached the mountains, sharp winds bit at his resolve. Each step up the steep, icy passes felt heavier, the weight of fear and fatigue pulling at his spirit. Some nights, alone beneath an unfamiliar sky, doubt coiled in his chest, whispering venomously, "Turn back, there's nothing for you here." But in those quiet moments, when the flames of his small campfire flickered bravely against the cold, Elias would close his eyes and hear the barely perceptible rustle of the great oak's leaves. The sound wasn't just memory, it was a reminder, a promise. Even in his solitude, he was never truly alone, and so he pressed forward. Weeks turned into months, and then, as if called by destiny itself, Elias arrived. All the traveler's stories unfolded before his eyes, like a well-worn map revealing its secrets. The rivers, shimmering with golden hues, sparkled as if the sun lay trapped in their currents. The forests of sapphire leaves rang with gentle chimes that seemed to sing of ancient wonders. The skies stretched endlessly, painted with colors Elias had no words to describe. Yet, it wasn't just the beauty of these lands that transformed Elias. It was the lessons they offered. As he walked through these dreamlike worlds, he learned the strength in vulnerability, the poetry of perseverance, and the quiet bravery it took to confront his own fears. The goal of his journey had shifted. It was no longer about seeing these magical places, but about understanding himself. And with each step, he found not just stories to share, but truths to carry home. When Elias finally returned to Eldergrove, he was both familiar and unrecognizable. The soft-eyed boy they had watched leave was now someone whose very presence spoke of growth, of wisdom earned through hardship and wonder alike. Tears and laughter greeted him as villagers eagerly gathered once more beneath the great oak, hungry to hear his tales. Elias shared everything, the sights, the sounds, the marvel of new worlds, but he didn't stop there. He spoke of courage, the kind born not from strength but from love. He spoke of dreams, not as distant, unreachable things, but as callings waiting to be embraced. He spoke of doubt and how it could be a companion, not an enemy, on the path to greatness. As he spoke, the villagers weren't just listeners, they were participants, their own hearts stirred by the embers of Elias's words. His journey, though uniquely his, was a mirror reflecting the dreams lying dormant in them all. At the edge of, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and activate the bell to receive all that is new.